How Jesus cared for his mental health to stay free from anxiety, depression, and stress. Have you ever felt so exhausted that even breathing is tiring? You're not alone. 73% of young people today confess to anxiety due to social media and work demands. Anxiety paralyzes them. 68% of people over 50 feel their life is just routine, worry, loneliness, and a sense of worthlessness. Today I won't give you a sermon. I'll show you how Jesus dealt with mental exhaustion in a world as demanding as ours. His secret: he took time alone. And it has a tremendous application for your life today. Will you join me? Let's see. Modern problems and Jesus problems. First, let's identify those mental giants we all face. For the younger ones. Fear of silence: 7 out of 10 prefer noise to being alone with themselves. For the older ones. Empty nest syndrome: loneliness after retirement or having children who have left home. Exhaustion from caring for others while no one cares for them. Did you know Jesus experienced something similar? Crowds overwhelmed him seeking miracles, Luke 5 verse 15. His closest friends sometimes didn't understand him, Mark 14 verse 37. He was even tempted to use his power to avoid stress, Matthew 4 verse 3. But he didn't collapse. His secret weapon? Luke 5 verse 16. Jesus often withdrew to solitary places to pray. Jesus fled to the mountains, Matthew 14 verse 23. Today, your mountain is disconnecting. For young people, 15 minutes a day without screens. Walk, draw, or just look at the clouds. For older people, sacred hour: no news or calls during your morning coffee. It's not selfishness, it's recharging your soul to give more later. Let's look at another solution to combat stress: prayer is therapy with God. When Jesus prayed alone, Mark 1 verse 35, he didn't recite speeches. He poured out his heart. Don't ask for solutions, just empty your heart. Like the Psalms, 60% are complaints, and God loves it. Another important aspect is learning to say no. That's solution 3, limits save. Jesus rejected the crowd in John 6 verse 15. Jesus said no when they overloaded him, John 6 verse 15. Today we would say, to the young, learn to say no to things that burden you, that don't make you feel bad, that don't make you feel pressured. To the older ones, that it's time to rest after retirement, or also to let the children become independent, as Genesis 2 verse 24 says, for this reason a man will leave his father and his mother and be united to his wife, and they will become one flesh. This verse, although it refers to the marital union, can also be interpreted as a biblical principle for independence and establishing a life of your own, so don't worry about it. Set that limit of saying that they have to leave and that you shouldn't worry about it. Setting limits doesn't make you a bad Christian, it makes you human like Jesus. I used to be a workaholic. One day I collapsed crying in my car. Then I tried Jesus's way, 30 minutes a day in a nearby park. No Bible. No elaborate prayers. Just me and God in silence. It was the first step to healing my anxiety. That's why I challenge you today. Choose your desert. A corner, the car, or even the bathroom. Start with 5 minutes, don't talk. Just breathe and say, God, here I am, in the chaos. This isn't just another devotional. It's a lifeline for your mind. Remember, Jesus doesn't ask for perfection. He offers you peace in the mess. Now let's see how Jesus took care of his body, the secret of his unlimited energy and a life without anxiety and depression. Why do we feel exhausted? Today I want to share a confession with you. A year ago, my exercise was walking from the couch to the fridge, unaware that a sedentary lifestyle is a cause of stress and anxiety. 85% of adults work sitting down, 70% of young people spend 8 hours a day in front of screens. Painful numbers. Young people, 1 in 3 suffers lower back pain due to a sedentary lifestyle. Older people, 60% lose mobility before age 70. But there is hope. Jesus walked the equivalent of Madrid and Barcelona 15 times. Today we will discover his physical formula for having divine energy in a human body. Let's look at current problems in Jesus' model. Our 3 modern enemies. Number 1, burned out bodies, sedentary jobs, and binge-watching TV shows in our free time. Number 2, poor diet, fad diets, or ultra-processed foods. Number 3, little rest, without disconnecting from the phone. Now let's compare our life with Jesus's. There's the solution. Number 1, he walked daily from town to town. I'm not saying you should walk long distances, but I am saying you should go out for a walk and abandon that sedentary lifestyle. Number 2, he ate in community, Luke 7 verse 34, whole wheat bread, fish, olive oil. No calorie counting. Because everything was healthy, nothing processed. Did you know that processed foods increase the likelihood of anxiety and stress? Number 3, he slept in storms. Mark 4 verse 38. His rest was sacred. Try to rest after a tiring day. Sleep well to wake up the next day with energy. And most importantly, by sleeping well, we eliminate symptoms of stress and anxiety. He used nature as a gym. So, young and old, go to the gym, go for a run, walk, enjoy nature. Eating is a sacred act. Eat what comes from the earth, not what comes from a factory. Eat healthy. And remember to rest. As Jesus did in Mark 4 verse 38. If the Son of God needed to sleep in the midst of chaos, why don't you? Young people, don't stay up all night, sleep properly at night. Older people, maybe a 20-minute nap a day would be a divine recharge. Sleep is not laziness, it is biblical obedience. Remember that the body must rest for the day to come. Connect with nature. Jesus preached on mountains, boats, fields. Science confirms it. 15 minutes a day in nature reduces cortisol, the stress hormone, and don't eat processed foods. Go to the park for 5 minutes a day touching the earth/grass/weed. It's free and it's in your nearest park. Start with a change, walk 10 minutes a day listening to Psalms. I made that change a year ago, and today I cross mountains. Not for fitness, but because my body is a temple. 1 Corinthians 6 verse 19. That's why I challenge you. This week, walk 10 minutes straight, even if it's just in the mall. Eat something healthy with someone you love. Your body is not a machine, it's a gift that Jesus honored. Remember, God doesn't want exhausted martyrs. He wants vital disciples. Now let's see. Jesus practiced forgiveness. The weight in 01Cs and how forgiveness removes part of our anxiety, depression, and stress. Surely we have all experienced or endured family trauma, betrayals, and self-importance, and showing forgiveness is like emotional liberation. Young people trapped in resentment, older people with decades-old wounds. Today I won't tell you to forgive. I'll show you how Jesus used forgiveness to let go and live free in the midst of chaos. Young people, who only offer false forgiveness, self-hatred for not being perfect. Older people, family grudges that are inherited even by their grandchildren. Don't everyone believe the lie that forgiving is for the weak. Perhaps we birds find it impossible to forgive. But Jesus faced brutal betrayals. His friends abandoned him. Mark 14 verse 50. His religion condemned him unjustly. As he was dying, he forgave his executioners. Luke 23 verse 34. Masochism? No! It was his antidote to the poison of hatred. To forgive is to let go, not to forget. Jesus didn't say what they did was right. He said, I don't carry this poison. John 8 verse 11. Forgiving isn't reconciling with the one who stabbed you, it's taking the knife out. So start by forgiving yourself. Before you forgive others. Others, Jesus healed the shame of others. Neither do I condemn you. John 8 verse 11. How will you forgive others if you are your own executioner? Forgiveness is a muscle. Jesus forgiving 70 by 7 in Matthew 18 verse 22. Jesus didn't wait for the cross, he forgave in small daily doses. Mark 2 verse 5. Today forgive one small thing. The traffic that made you late. The passive-aggressive comment you heard. When the big betrayal comes, you'll already be trained. I know it's not easy, and I identify with all of you. My father abandoned me when I was 10 years old. For years I hated him so much, I blamed him for everything, and that wouldn't let me live in peace until one day I tried what Jesus did, and I said, "Dad, what you did hurt me, but today I choose to let it go." I cried like a child. But it was the beginning of my freedom. That's why I challenge you today. Repeat, I forgive you, and I forgive myself for holding on to you so tightly. It's not magic, it's surgery for the soul. Remember, Jesus didn't forgive because he was weak, it was the most rebellious act in history. It's not forced reconciliation. Forgiving is getting back with the person who hurts you. It's healing your wound so it doesn't infect your future. Forgiving reduces cortisol, the stress hormone. Jesus expressed his emotions. Now let's see how expressing our emotions can eliminate stress, anxiety, and depression. Jesus wept, screamed, and shaked, and that makes you stronger. The lie that poisons us. 80% of young people hide their depression on social media, 70% of older people keep quiet about their grief to avoid disturbing others. Today we will break that myth with the most radical example. Jesus wept, screamed, and sweated in anguish. John 11 verse 35, Matthew 21 verses 12 to 13, Luke 22 verse 44. Ready to release your trapped emotions? Our emotional traps. Jesus never hid what he felt. He wept in public for his dead friend. John 11 verse 35. He validated sadness. He overturned tables in the face of exploitation in the temple. Matthew 21 verse 12. He sanctified righteous anger. He sweated blood in anguish. Luke 22 verse 44. He honored human fear. Cry like he weep. Jesus didn't give a sermon at Lazarus' funeral. He weep. Tears aren't defeat, they're liquid prayer. When Jesus overturned tables, Matthew 21 verse 12, he didn't attack people, he attacked corrupt systems. Before the cross, Jesus didn't feign courage. Father, take this cup from me. Luke 22 verse 42. As we can see, Jesus didn't bottle up his emotions, so you shouldn't either. Cry when you need to vent. That's what I did when I imitated Jesus. And he saved me from that anxiety of bottling up my emotions. They told me, pray more, and it will pass. But one day I collapsed. Then I tried Jesus's thing. I screamed in my car, God, I'm scared. It was the first time I prayed without masks. And something changed. Peace came after honesty. That's why I challenge you today. Name your hidden emotion, sadness, anger, fear. Express it physically. Cry, write, run, paint. God doesn't want your perfect prayers. He wants your authentic heart and. Remember, Jesus didn't come to erase your emotions. He came to sanctify them. I also want you to know that suppressing emotions causes disease. Now let's see how seeking support can help us overcome anxiety and depression, because if Jesus sought support, why asking for help makes you stronger, focused on breaking the taboo of self-sufficiency in faith communities. Jesus asked for help, and that's why he did not collapse. How many times have you said, I'll solve it on my own, when in reality, you were on the verge of collapse? 61% of young people feel alone in crowds, 70% of older people hide their needs so as not to be a burden. Today we will uncover a little-told secret. Jesus, God made man, needed human help. Matthew 26 verse 38, and if he did it, why can't you? Young and old, asking for help when we fail is the right thing to do. Perhaps out of pride we don't do it. Sometimes we fail more than once, and that causes us anxiety and a lot of stress from feeling stuck. But a solution to get out of there: sometimes we think, I don't want to bother you, or I don't want to bother you. It's simply pride disguised as kindness. If I have faith, I don't need people. Jesus debunked these myths. In Gethsemane, he said to his friends, "My soul is troubled, stay here with me." Matthew 26 verse 38. On the cross, he allowed Simon to carry his cross. Luke 23 verse 26. He sent disciples 2 by 2. Mark 6 verse 7. Never alone. Weakness? No. It was their emotional survival system. Say what you need without guilt. Jesus didn't say, "Pray for me." He said, "Watch with me." Matthew. For young and old, ask for support, don't punish yourselves. Asking for company isn't being weak, it's being wise like Jesus. Jesus didn't wait for the cross to build friendships, he invested 3 years in his disciples. When you need support, call on a trusted friend who will inspire you and pray with you. By letting Simon carry his cross, Jesus healed our pride. Young people, take that advice from your mentor and don't say "I know everything." Older people, say yes when someone offers to accompany you to the doctor. Receiving help doesn't take away your dignity, it makes you human like Christ. I want to tell you my testimony when my pride almost killed me after my divorce. I pretended to be fine. "I'm strong, I have God," I said, until one day I woke up in the emergency room with a panic attack. That night, I called my sister, "I need you to come." Now she came. And we cried together. So today, if you're asked, "Are you free?" or "I need company," do it. Spend time with loved ones who want to help you. If someone asks you for help, go. Be that company because they need someone too. Community isn't optional, it's God's plan A. Jesus didn't save you with a sermon. He saved you with a community. And remember, social support and companionship can reduce anxiety. Feeling connected to others and receiving emotional support can help mitigate the effects of stress and anxiety, providing a sense of belonging and security. Now let's see how gratitude helps us eliminate anxiety, depression, and stress. Jesus was grateful, your secret weapon against anxiety, a practical tool for mental health. Jesus said thank you even when everything was wrong. Have you been told to be grateful when you lost your job, or when the diagnosis was bad? Today we will discover how Jesus practiced authentic gratitude, before miracles, at funerals, and with crumbs, Matthew 15 verse 36, John 11 verse 41. Ready for a gratitude that doesn't deny pain, but transforms it? Jesus broke the mold. With 5 loaves and 2 fish, not enough food, he gave thanks, Matthew 15 verse 36. Before the tomb of Lazarus, "Father, I thank you," John 11 verse 41. By revealing hidden truths, "I thank you, Father, that you have hidden this from the wise," Matthew 11 verse 41. 11:25. His gratitude wasn't for perfection, it was for God and the imperfect. Thank you for enough, not for abundance. Jesus wasn't grateful for abundance. He was grateful for the little he had. Before eating, give thanks for this meal, not for future provision. When paying bills, give thanks for what I was able to cover. Gratitude in small things brings peace, not forced miracles. Perhaps sometimes we don't see that what we have is little, but we have more than others. God never leaves us alone. In John 11 verse 41, Jesus wasn't grateful for death. He was grateful that the Father always heard him. I invite you to give thanks no matter whether you are facing illness, financial problems, or mourning, and say, "Thank you, God, because you are here." Don't force joy, authentic gratitude can coexist with tears. To go deeper, I want to share my testimony. Testimony when thank you saved my night. When my son became seriously ill, all my prayers were heal him. One night, exhausted, I switched to, "Thank you that you are in this hospital room." There was no instant miracle, but a supernatural peace filled the room. I learned, gratitude doesn't change circumstances, it changes your heart in them. That's why I challenge you today, identify your difficult situation. Say thanks about it. It's not magic, it's anchoring your soul to the reality of God. God doesn't need your perfect gratitude. He needs your honesty. Remember, Jesus didn't just give thanks on the Mount of Olives. He gave thanks on the Mount of Crucifixion. The practice of gratitude can shift your mind's focus to positive aspects, which in turn can reduce feelings of worry and anxiety. So practice gratitude and you'll see how your anxiety diminishes. Now let's see how prayer ends anxiety, depression, and stress. Jesus prayed constantly, his trick to maintain peace in the chaos. Jesus didn't pray. He breathed with God. And you can do it today. Prayer has been sold to you as closing your eyes, joining hands, and speaking beautifully. That's why most people abandon it. Jesus didn't follow a manual. He fled to the mountains at dawn. Mark 1 verse 35. He cried out in anguish in a garden. Luke 22 verse 44. He made decisions after whole nights of prayer. Luke 6 verse 12. Today you will discover his real method, not praying, breathing with God. Why we fail. Jesus revolutionized it, praying equals escape. Mark 1 verse 35, he sought physical solitude to connect with God. Praying equals decide. Luke 6 verse 12, he used the night to clarify decisions. Luke 22 verse 44, his body expressed what his mouth couldn't. He taught us to pray like a person in need. That's why micro-prayers in chaos are important. Jesus prayed constantly. Luke 5 verse 16. When I woke up, good morning, God. Help me today. In traffic. Faced with bad news. When I started praying. For the first time, I felt peace. I learned, God doesn't want poems. He wants your truth, your sincere heart. Pray while you're running, crying, or cooking, and also when you're happy and don't lack anything. Many times we only seek God when we're lacking something or going through problems in our lives. Authentic prayer is your hidden superpower. Jesus didn't pray to change God, he prayed for God to change him. A neuroscience study suggests that prayer, as a mental practice, activates brain regions associated with attention, empathy, calmness, and emotional regulation. Prayer cures anxiety. And remember to implement these 7 antidotes from Jesus to anxiety. Wise mental health. Jesus took time alone. Luke 5 verse 16. So take care of your mental health. Number 2, a healthy body, a healthy spirit. Jesus took care of his body. Mark 4 verse 38. Take care of your body and exercise. Go for a run and eat healthy. Number 3, forgiveness equals freedom. Jesus practiced forgiveness. Luke 23 verse 34. So let go of a grudge and forgive. Number 4, authentic emotions. Jesus expressed what he felt. John 11 verse 35. So don't bottle up your emotions. Laugh, cry when necessary, and don't hold anything back. Number 5, support network. Jesus sought help. Matthew 26 verse 38. Seek help when you feel stuck, and help those who need it too. Number 6, real gratitude. Jesus gave thanks in the imperfect. Matthew 15 verse 36. Be thankful for everything, no matter how small, and remember that God never leaves us alone. Number 7, constant prayer. Jesus breathed with God. Mark 1 verse 35. So, when you're well and when you're bad, don't make the mistake of seeking God only when you're going through a bad time. Jesus didn't avoid pain. He went through it with 7 divine habits. You don't need more techniques, you need to imitate his sacred humanity. God doesn't promise a life without storms. He promises peace in the midst of them. Break the idea that it takes a lot to have peace. Which one will you try first? And remember, Jesus taught us how we should live as humans. I hope this puts an end to your anxiety, depression, and stress and helps you live happily. Don't forget to subscribe to solve more of our daily problems.